Welcome to EXS 111 Computer Applications Fitness Project Tutorial. In this particular tutorial, I want to go over how I would like you to address the fitness project, which is the final project of the year in computer applications. In this particular one, you'll be making 3 separate documents. In this, you will have a presentation, a spreadsheet, and a document, a text document. So let's go over this quickly and I'll show you my ideas. For the fitness project in computer applications here, I want you and your group to try out a bunch of the mobile EXS games. I've lined up, here's 8. Walker, Pokemon Go, Wizards Unite, Draconius, Orna, Jurassic World Alive, Minecraft Earth, and Walking Dead Our World. Each student within your group should choose one of these. Or if they find another mobile game that requires you to physically move around in order to get goals and stuff, you could use that too. You just gotta justify it. Each member chooses one and then records. Play the game for 5 days. Each day you must get out and use it every single day to the best of your ability. In this, you're going to be collecting some data. What kinds of information do each one of these games give you? Does it track how far you go? How fast you go? Is it asking for your age, weight, height? Is it asking for your activity level? How does this game physically get you up, moving around, and exercising, at least in some way? Now, for most of my students, you're pretty well exercised and have a passion for it. But think about it from the point of view as your clients. There are many people who just really aren't into exercise, but they might like a video game. And we all have a smartphone, so let's use those. In the end, you'll have a spreadsheet of data with the different games and what information is collected from each game. You'll have a document that is a write-up of the history of those games, how they work, and your review of the game. And then a presentation. How would you make your own game? This is kind of what the spreadsheet would end up looking like. I used Google Sheets to do all of this, and you can too. You don't have to use the Microsoft Office package. It is totally fine to use something else, as long as I can get to it, and you can put it on your website. So here I have some stuff tracked. Me and my TAs from previous semesters. Looked at a bunch of different games, got our resting heart rates, we measured our distances, it gave it to us in kilometers. We took active heart rate readings while we were doing that. We did that for 5 days. And then we got some averages, some basic statistics, right? So I got the total distance, I got the average distance, the average change in heart rate data from the resting to active. What was the average change in heart rate data? And I got an enjoyment level. Out of 1 to 5, how much fun was it to play these games? And we all came out with different things, and different activity levels of the different people really affected stuff. Obviously, here's mine. My heart rate change data is huge, and yeah, I'm not very active. I didn't go too far, but like Joe went really, really far, but did not enjoy his game. And I wrote down what were the pros and cons and the working level. Was it actually functional as a game? Was it able to get me up and moving? So you're going to collect data. Data being a plural word, by the way. It's bits of information, raw, unprocessed, numbers directly. You want to get all these things and put them together. What are the data that is common to all of the games? Usually it's distance, but there can be other things too. Plus there's anything that you would like to track yourself. Especially if you're going to develop your own game, what would be important to you as a clinician, as a physical therapist, as a trainer? What would you do? Let me show you my 3 sheets. First, the spreadsheet. I showed this to you already. What games were there? What did we get? Second is a write-up. This is very much in the same form as Tech Tools number 2. It's an APA style paper. Just use Tech Tools number 2, the redo, to sort of figure out what you should put where. Oh, here's a title, here's our names, there's the department and the class and stuff. A little abstract, you know, paragraph. These are the games we played. This is the stuff that we did. These are our feelings towards it, and this is what we used it for. This is Google Docs. It inserted a table of contents beautifully, and I'm putting in section breaks to make it a little easier. Introduce the paper. Everyday fitness is not something that everyone can fit into their lifestyle. A little intro. The games that we did, and then individual games. So I played Pokemon. I do actively play Pokemon Go. It is one of my favorite. First, I just talked about myself. I've played it. I'm not particularly active. I do play a lot of video games. I have a huge history of them. That's me, right? This kind of tells you the user, like what kind of activity level do they expect. Then I went to a quick history of Pokemon Go. Who made it? Niantic, the Pokemon Company, Nintendo. It was a combination of the three of them. It is incredibly popular with 600 different types of Pokemon to catch and over 500 million players easily. It's grossing in billions of dollars. It's so much. It's the number one mobile activity video game, extra game. I went over the game mechanics. So like you have Pokestops. These are landmarks. It uses the GPS unit in your phone in order to figure out where you are. It also detects your speed. That's a mechanic that's used to keep you from doing it while driving. Finally, I have my review of the game. What do I think about it? I like it. I do. I like it. Maybe you won't. Maybe you will. I don't know. It's up to you. What was good about it? What was bad about it? What would it make me do? It really does make me walk more. It seriously does. Then you go on to the next person and the next person and the next person. Finally, make your own proposal. This is my game that I've made up in my head. I kind of always wanted to have a game on a bicycle. I'm a bicycle enthusiast. I haven't done it for a long time, but that's because I have my own life going on. So my proposal is a game called Bike Excite, and it involves having a odometer attached to your bike. That odometer would just collect, your standard odometer data. They're really ubiquitous nowadays, and they interface with smartphone apps already, and they're only 25 to 35 bucks. That's not bad. Why not make it into a whole game? I have my idea where you would have your clip-on tracker, and it would track how fast and far, and also like how rugged was the terrain you're going on. And it would interface that with the game app, which pre-plans a route for you, but also will collect your biometric data so that you can set difficulty goals for yourself. I wrote this up all in here. Lots of information, just stuff coming out of my head, right? But this is only one page. It's only one page of information. So the last part of the document that you make, the whole write-up, should be the bibliography. You need a little bibliography. Where did you go to look at stuff? I mean, look, I looked at Wikipedia. That's totally fine. It's an encyclopedia of knowledge, and sometimes you just need like dates and facts. Well, what's wrong with Wikipedia? It works fine. But I also, I looked online. What are the options for the different like bike trackers and odometers? And I found two of them. Real simple. Google searches. I went and looked at, I looked at their pages and what do they get. So, bibliography important. Want to know where did you learn about your game, its information, its history. Now lastly, I took that and I turned it into a little presentation. It's pretty easy to take a document and a spreadsheet and make a quick 5-6 slide presentation. So in here, it's a standard, like if you were doing it in class. Fitness project, Bike Excite, names, class, etc., etc. Date, I'm using Google Slides again. It's not PowerPoint. It's okay to use something other than PowerPoint on this project. So, what do I have? What's the stuff that's being collected? Hey look, these things already exist, so it's already proven technology. What do other games do? Review the other games. Pokemon Go, what are they getting? Geolocation, speed, distance, Wizards Unite, same stuff. Walking Dead, Jurassic World. What are the player interactions for those games? They're kind of all the same, really. Speed is used to determine if you're in a vehicle, so they won't work in case you're driving around doing it. But locations on the map give people things to do. Distances are used to open items or achieve quest goals. And finally, there are goals for the game itself, actual goals for the game. But that's not necessarily the overall goal. The overall goal is probably to make money. I mean, they're games, they do it not for free. Our game, Bike Excite, Space Adventure, right? So we're going to get those bits of data, the distance, speed, geoposition, blah, blah, blah. But also, I want the app to get these bits of data: age, gender, weight, height, resting and active heart rates, and things like your activity level and desired exercise goals. This game, for me, as I'm designing it, this game is more for actually trying to get the user to be more physically active. Locations give players events, just like in the other one. Speed is used to charge up your weapons and shields and tools and stuff. Distance is used to open up objects and pass missions and stuff. The idea that, because these things can be tracked, the odometers can feel how rugged terrain is, bumping around and stuff, that would detect and then be used to adjust the difficulty level. And then these biometrics are tracked to maintain exercise goals, because that's the overall goal for my game. Game-related goals, I wrote these down in the paper as well. But the overall goals of Bike Excite are this. Bicycles are cheap. But they often get stored away in garages, or I have an apartment, so they're kind of lined up against the wall. Some people find biking fun. A lot of people have bikes and don't use them. They might find biking fun, but they're not really into it. So this is an incentive to get them out there. Bikes are great because they're opponents of air pollution. Why not get people to bike to work or bike to the store? Short trips are very doable on a bicycle, even grocery shopping. Smartphones are already tracking all of this data anyway. Even if you're not actively using an app like Map My Run or the Nike Fit app, that stuff's already being taken by your phone. May as well be using it to improve your health. And, well, this is something dear to my heart as well. Maybe it's an avenue of employment for my exercise science students. Hey, once you're done here, what are you going to do with the knowledge that you've gained? Why not turn it into a video game? Now, there's a real intent for everything in this class. I'm not just doing it randomly. There's a purpose for this project, and it's to get you thinking in research. So, how does this project serve to get you into that mindset, specifically for two classes? EXS 250, research, and EXS 210, statistics. By having you try something out and then record data and then propose something yourself, you are being a scientist. You are actually actively collecting and analyzing data with real life experience. Then you're presenting it as well, because that's also important in academia. Nobody can learn things that you found out if you don't tell them. Also, on the spreadsheet, I want you to have the averages, the distances, sums, and stuff like that. Those simple calculations, the ones that you do in Tech Tools number 3. How can you find out something if you don't look at it and crunch the numbers a little bit? Overall, you should have fun doing this project. It's something kind of near and dear to me because I love video games, but it also interacts with you. Your life and your experiences being used to inform your education. Have a good time. Stay safe, really safe. Let's see what your ideas are. Let them blossom.